All right. Oh, hello there. It's been quite a while since I made a video for this channel, and I've realized that I actually today was just watching the old videos on this channel, and I was like, wow, I really have not changed that much, have I? Which isn't actually true. I have changed a little bit, but for the most part, I'm kind of built of the same principles, and I have the same ideas as I did. Even, what was it, like a year and a half? Getting kind of close to 2 years now ago in those previous videos. So I don't know, I thought it was just interesting to watch, kind of interesting to see, kind of cringy. Didn't like how I really did that intro for the channel. I thought I was just trying too hard to be weird, or just, I don't know, it was just kind of horrible to watch. But I'm here now, and I've been having the idea of just sitting down doing a little commentary for quite a while, but for some reason I just never found like I had it in me to sit down and just, you know, turn on the mic and talk, because I feel like I've been too overwhelmed with ideas. Like, I have so many different things I could talk about. So I think I'll just try to keep it simple for this one. I think I'll just do a kind of, you know, what comes to me first video, I guess, ramble styles, what you'd call it. And I mean, that's kind of what this whole channel's been thus far, although I only have 3 videos before this one. I've never really done like a structured, you know, I'm going to talk about this idea. So, you know, and following with that principle, I guess I'll continue. And let me talk about how I feel right now. So today is the last day of my Thanksgiving break back from my university. And I'm kind of slightly miserable right now because I don't want to go back. I have friends and home comfort here, and I don't really want to go back, live with a dorm, you know, roommate, I mean, that, you know, is like, all right, I mean, he's a good roommate. I just, you know, I'd rather live with nobody, really. You know, go back to eating the UC food or the cafeteria food, and, you know, go back to doing all that work. Although we have finals the week after this one, you know, they're coming up quick. Excuse me, maybe a little tired, but, you know, sorry, I'm just kind of staring into space again, like keeping with the theme of past videos, staring into space. But you know, there's just, I'm not looking too forward to going back, and it's a lot of work, and I still don't quite know what I want to do with my life. There are still big questions looming over my head about that. It's about what kind of person I am, you know, what kind of work ethic do I have, what kind of person do I want to be. You know, it's a constant struggle, and I see I haven't really changed in that regard from a year and a half, whatever it was ago, in my previous commentaries. And I'm kind of realizing, like, you know, the time it's kind of been now to, well, let me back up a little bit, maybe. Let's say, so you know how everybody really has dreams. It's like, oh, I'd really love to pursue my art, but, you know, I'm so busy with all blah, blah, blah. You know, I'd really love to be like a famous playwright. I want to write my own plays. I want to write songs. I want to write books, poems. You know, why do we have, it's not just me, I know that for facts, but it's like, why do people like me have these ideas and then seem to never be able to make time, or, you know, just actively pursue them? It's kind of strange because, you know, this is the one life, as far as we know, that we're going to have here. You know, you're not going to have a continuance. You know, the time is now to put the energy in and really put your nose to the grindstone to accomplish what you want, what you dream of. And yet we just let it slip by as if, you know, it were nothing, I guess. Like, we can justify it so easily with, oh, I'm so busy with school, and, you know, this, like, I study so much, and, you know, I got sports practice, and, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, whatever. But I mean, if you really want something, you're going to have to make the sacrifice, the time sacrifice, energy sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of saying what everybody knows at this point, but it might be useful to touch up on that, recap on it. But I'm kind of at a dilemma. There's kind of a cognitive dissonance in my mind where I say these things, I believe, you know, you have to put in the hard work and you have to become uncomfortable, force yourself to, you know, get into the workflow, the mindset, whatever, because, you know, your mind kind of wants to stay at rest, you know. If we were left, you know, I don't want to necessarily say if we were just left to our own devices and had no obligations, we just lay in bed all day, but I'm saying you'd probably sleep in a lot, probably be lazy, maybe skip some workouts, skip working out altogether. You know, you wouldn't read, you wouldn't, you know, read a random Wikipedia article and just learn about something new, you know, whatever. You wouldn't, you kind of have to expend energy and willpower to do important things like that. And while I know that, and I'm on board with that, it's like whenever I get a break, I don't quite make time or set aside the energy to accomplish, you know, the things that I want to do with my life. It's like, oh, want to maybe, you know, get my music legitimately started. And I'm still talking about this. It's funny because, I mean, I've been thinking the same thing forever, but, you know, my mindset, work ethic has kind of been the same in that time. And it's like, oh, you know, maybe it's just my idea of what I want is wrong. Maybe I have this like infantile, maybe like immature idea of, you know, I'll make songs, fans will come, you know, I'll put out a song this weekend, you know, fans will come, $1 million record deal, you know, that's it. People reach out to me, oh, want to make music for a game? Yeah, sure. I think I kind of have an infant or immature expectation in that regard. But I also just straight up, like, have not been on my computer all of this break, which has been like around 5 days or so, which is, you know, definitely a problem in terms of my goals. And so I'm just not quite sure how to get around that. It also kind of ties in back like to when I wake up, when I have free time, like on the weekends, or, you know, I don't have I don't need to get up for anything. Like I can get up early every day in a week, you know, for my classes that start at 9 a.m., 9:30. But when when I'm left to my own devices and I'm left to, okay, this is your world. This is, you know, you have the authority, you know, what do you want to do with today? It's kind of like, oh, you know, sleep in, you know, eat really late, procrastinate on your phone, you know, do stupid crap, stay up until 5 a.m., you know, hanging out with my girlfriend or friends, whatever. You know, it's very hard to be structured and organized. And I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't be talking about this. Well, hold on, let me just scrap that little idea. It is very hard, I think, not just for me, but for everybody, to kind of commit yourself and to stay disciplined. Although, except old people seem to have a good, you know, they're pretty good with getting up early, regardless of obligations for that day. Or maybe I'm just not seeing it through their eyes. Maybe every day they think they have the obligation, and maybe every day they just are really, really busy because, you know, they're bill-paying, you know, worn-down adults that, you know, have all these responsibilities I couldn't dream of. So, you know, maybe it's just easy for them because all the time they feel so stressed out that they have to get up. But for me, it's like, you know, I got all this free time. You know, I want to amass a following on YouTube where I just speak out my heart and, you know, I help people relate. Maybe I have more wisdom than some and I help them out, or maybe I can learn from other people that listen to me and were in my position but have improved themselves. You know, that's like a good fantasy, a good dream. And here I am 1.5 years later making a video for this channel, unless you count the Amnesia gameplay, which like got 0 views, so nobody watching this would even know what I'm talking about. I privated it just because I was like, you know, I don't really feel like having this up. But you know, among that I have like, you know, I want to read this book, you know, I want to catch up on Call of Duty 2. Yes, I'm seriously complaining about how I haven't caught up on playing a video game on my Xbox. But even that, like, you have to make time for, because it's so much easier, you know, when you have, I guess, in my circumstance, the friends I do, sort of social circumstances I have, the motivation I have, the tendencies I have, it'd be easier just to, you know, the time is getting taken up by sleeping in or hanging out with friends really late, or just kind of procrastinating, like, you know, taking forever to eat, kind of being on my phone in between doing every little thing I do in a day. Like, you know, even that, you kind of have to set, although you have to set aside the bare minimum, you still have to set aside a little bit just to get started on that game. And sometimes you can make tasks seem way more overwhelming than they actually are in your mind. So I've noticed, especially like with working out, you may think about working out and the big sense of dread is like, this big mountain of a problem that is working out shows up in your brain, and you're like, oh, I can't climb this mountain. This is too big. And then it's like, if you would just shut up and work out, you'd be done. And let's say you're doing cardio, maybe like 30 minutes in my case, with lifting weights, maybe max like 2 hours, going to the gym back, doing full body. I mean, it's very time consuming. Maybe you should find something else that's not so time consuming, but besides the point, like if I would just shut up and do it, I would be done. And then, I would be able to move on with my day. But when left to my own devices, I find that I'm not as productive as I want to be. And I'm sure many people can relate to that. And I'm just not quite sure how to address the problem. Although, maybe I do know how to address it. I just don't want to. Like, there are many things like I wouldn't want to address. Like, there's things I've been meaning to do for months. Like, call certain companies to, check up on my records, make appointments, crap like that. I've been procrastinating on for quite a long time, and it's very easy to rationalize with, oh, college, so busy, this, that, excuse, just not very good things. Not very good to be lazy. And I'm not even quite sure where this conversation at all began. But I imagine, yes, it was like music. Music, I want reverence, I want success, I want to impact people emotionally and spiritually in ways words couldn't really. Like, I want to impress. Of course, I said reverence. Like, the feeling I get for certain artists I really like, and for certain mixes I really like, I want people to feel that way about me and my work. And that's what I mean by that. I don't necessarily want to like take over the world or anything, although that might be kind of fun. Although there are too many downsides, never mind. It probably wouldn't be fun. But like, I'm not putting in the effort. I don't have on my Fiverr page. I don't really have anything up. I had closed my Fiverr, well, not like my account, but all my offerings, all my services, because I think I'd closed it before school started. I was like, I'm going to be too busy with school, crap like that. And this problem is especially relevant right now because, well, one, I just gone through a break where I hadn't been as productive as I wanted to be. And two, winter break will come up in 2 weeks when finals are done, and that'll be like a month. And I'm not exactly sure what I want to get done in that time. And at the same time, I'm thinking, I kind of know what I have to do. I would probably have to sit down, really like kind of think about it, write out what I wanted to do, why I wanted to do these things. And that would probably provide a proper, grounds for me to get done what I wanted to get done in that time. But hold on, let me think a second. I think it was like just thinking about that is kind of, it's like that mountain I mentioned with working out. It's like, oh, that's going to be hard. And oh, here's the point I wanted to get to. That's going to be like a lot of work, day in, day out grinding. Like I'm already doing that with college. So I've been doing that with college so much, and it's kind of exhausting. And I'm kind of thinking like, when do you get a break? Like, you work so hard for things you don't necessarily care about that may make you better, which is school in my case. A lot of it I don't personally care about. I think some of the assignments might be stupid. I don't want to do them, like, screw this. But in the end, like, I'm gaining more knowledge, and I'm becoming like more fluidly intelligent. My vocab's increasing. The speed of my mind is just, it's going up as I take in more information, and I'm forced to kind of grow intellectually. And it's like, with these things I want to do, I know I have to work hard, but at what point do I get a break? And I think that's kind of a false question I'm raising in my mind. I think it's kind of like this just false image I have. It's not real, because it's like, if you go down to the small scale, or I don't want to say microscopic level, that might be too small, but if you go to smaller scale thinking, it's like day to day. Oh, you would have breaks, while you're eating. You would have, breaks maybe at night once you finish everything. You would, go to sleep, wake up rested, hopefully, if you're on a proper sleep schedule, So it's like, you know, those are where the breaks are. But, you know, I'm kind of in this macro level, I'm kind of thinking I'm putting groups of days or weeks or months together. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, this group is all schoolwork. This next one is all me work. In the break, it's like, you know, where's the breaks? It's just all I see is work, work. But you kind of have to break it down. Day to day, maybe. Hour to hour, perhaps. But anyway, the point is you have to break it down. And that's kind of what I mean by this false image I'm erecting in my mind. When I'm saying like, oh, you know, where's the break? But, you know, that may be a good topic for another video. These like fronts our mind puts up to kind of keep us at neutral, at rest. And these are just immediate ideas we have associated with certain things that keep us from maybe being the best we want to be or accomplishing what we want to accomplish. So I don't know. I don't really have too much to talk about. It was just kind of a nice event sesh. God, there's so much to talk about, so much in my personal spiritual life that I want to pick up again, or, you know, just, I guess, just do, that I could talk about. But it basically, just talking about it wouldn't necessarily, I mean, help. Like I can talk about it all the time, but I just have to do it. Like, for example, journaling. Like I could talk about, oh, I should journal more, and I used to journal, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I could talk about it. But basically what I need to do is just do. I need to write down the goals that I want. And anybody else listening to this, I mean, I would probably prescribe the same to you. You know, write down what you really want to do, the reasons why you want to do those things, how they are, you know, intertwined with your life and your goals and who you want to be and what your values are. And then actually just, you know, go do them. So I guess that's all I really have to say for this video. I really hope I don't procrastinate for 1.5 years again to make my next one, because these are actually, as I'm doing this, it's quite therapeutic, it's fun to just talk, speak my mind, because, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be doing this otherwise. I wouldn't just be sitting here talking to myself as if I'm talking to an audience and just go through everything in my life. So I find this, it's quite cathartic and just entertaining to do. I enjoy talking about myself. So yeah, there's that. And I guess with those incoherent statements, I will end this video. And I'm really hoping and praying to my future self that I actually, you know, I beseech my future self, like, please make another video soon. I know you'll be busy with finals week, but that's no excuse. You have plenty of free time, hours of free time every day. Go look at the screen time you use on your phone daily. It's hours. You could be using those hours for something more productive. And, you know, nurturing for you, mental health, your soul, physical health, everything like that. So with that, I will end this video. And again, hopefully I will upload another thing soon. So goodbye, everyone. I hope you have a great day, night, day, whatever. I'm closing my window from which I speak to the massive abyss of the internet, or maybe it's more akin to a city. But anyways, I'm closing my window. So again, have a great day, night, whatever it is for you. And hopefully I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.